Hewlett-Packard, the people who turn your business computing problem into a business computing solution.
Second down and 4. The Dallas 45. Dickerson again. First down. He got to the 40-yard line. Let's watch that last fumble a while ago by Gordon Banks.
Watch Newsom again, number 22. You talk about getting caught in a revolving door. Look at all the people around it. Watch Wilshire come in there, number 54. He scrapes it loose. There it bounces on the turf. But Wilshire was definitely involved in that play, too, along with Vince Newsom, number 22.
First down for the Rams. First down pass. No. With Ellard being trailed by Walls, who had some help. Boy, these passing figures are terrible today.
They aren't very good. But, you know, Jack, you talk about the Rams coming in here, Hank and Jack, with the one-back attack. I think they've actually been in a two-back attack more today with a fullback than they have been in the one-back attack.
Yeah, they have a lot of that. And, you know, here's a great tackle, offensive tackle. Jackie Slater, number 78, played his collegiate football at Jackson State. And the running back at Jackson State at that time was Walter Payton. And now he's playing with another great running back, Eric Dickerson. I asked about making a comparison of the two, and I'll tell you about that in a minute.
And you folks will watch Peyton tomorrow on CBS when the Giants play at Chicago. Uh-oh. Yep.
A nice block by the tight end Hill, and a fullback coming right here and gets a nice block on the force man, the strong safety Dexter Klingscale. Now watch Redden. Boom, he gets a nice kick out right there. It's got a good block there by Slater. He's up inside, the good power right there. He runs through people, puts it down in the end zone.
Extra point try by Lansford, trying to make it 20-0. We're in the fourth quarter with 14 minutes to play. It's good. 14:04 left in the game. Dickerson ran for 55 yards earlier, 40 yards this time, 227 yards today. He's earning his money on his new contract.
Yesterday, I was a football player. Today, I'm retired. How do I want to be remembered? As a good father, as a good husband, and that's it. That's life, and that's what life is.
Plymouth shows you why the pride is back. Plymouth Voyager, car-like handling Plymouth's 550 protection plan. Versatile Plymouth Voyager. The pride is back. Born in America. Again.
Now, get 8.6 financing or $500 cash back on select Plymouth models.
Come on over here.
Will you know the future when you see it?
Wow, what is it?
Well, the future of long distance looks like DTE Sprint. When you select Sprint, you're getting the important services you'd expect from AT&T, plus savings. So take a look at Sprint and see tomorrow's long distance today.
When you've got Sprint, you've got the future on the line.
We have 14:04 left in the game. It's 20-0 in favor of the Rams. Look at that smile.
You know, you don't get to do that very often in the sideline of a football game. No, but he's got that big peppermint smile.
And Kenny Duckett comes up and takes the ball. No, he gave way to the wingman, and the tackle is made at the 15-yard line. Sean Miller made the tackle as Newsom. James returned the ball. Here's the action tomorrow on CBS, 12 o'clock Eastern for the NFL Today, and then the Giants and the Bears hook up. And the Goodyear blimp takes the pictures from up above. The Columbia, piloted by Tom Mattis. The blimp is based in Carson, California. 61st consecutive year, the Goodyear blimps have flown over major sporting events. Danny White has a long road to hoe. No flags. And the ball batted down, and Tony Hill fell down. Hill is coming off of a pulled hamstring, and he hasn't been in the midst of this game at all, Hank.
No, it's surprising, but I think the most surprising thing of all is you watch this game unfold like it has. You know, Dallas doesn't seem to have any rhythm, any continuity, any consistency at all. Does it, Dick? It looks like this kind of a grab bag thing. You don't know what they're trying to get done. You know, that's the feeling you have sitting up here. Do you feel that way about it at all?
They just had a hard time putting it together, but I think maybe we have to credit the Ram defense, you know.
I think there's no question. Yeah, the Rams are playing a fantastic game defensively, but still, Dallas should be doing better than they're doing offensively.
And there's a hard-working professional, Doug Cosby. He caught the ball out across the 25. They mark it down, and it's apparently inches short of a first down with Carl Ecker making the tackle.
Doug Cosby, coming into this game, this year had set a new tight end receiving record, Hank. 4 tight ends in Dallas history. That's a pretty darn good season with 64 receptions.
And 6 touchdowns.
There's Bigfoot. Dennis Harrison played for me at Philadelphia. His wife is pregnant. Their 6th child on the way. 6, number 6.
Good for them.
Cheaper by the dozen, huh? Or the half dozen.
Well, they did get a first down out to the 26. And a good pass completion. They call it at the 40-yard line to Tony Hill. Yes, it's a catch to the 40. Tackled by Green. You know, Hank, even with the score, as it is 20-0, that play action, because of the presence of Dorsett, still is effective.
It shouldn't be nearly as effective, but it still is because, as you say, of Dorsett.
You know, I really don't think he caught that ball, Hank.
I didn't think he did either. I think
the
it
ball
slipped right
went
down, too.
Unless he got it by his knees before it hit the ground.
Well, it's a first down, whether he caught it or not.
That's right. Hey, he caught it. The official said he did.
I'll let him have the catch. We want a closer game here, don't we? Dorsett's good for 5 and out of bounds. Run out by Johnny Johnson. Let's check the Dallas bench. There's Septien for 1. He has a pulled hamstring. What a way to end it, huh?
Yeah, he's got to be very disappointed.
Hank, when you think of a losing team such as Cleveland earlier today, and they lost to Miami 24-21, Renfro is out with a strained left calf. When you think of the July training camp, the 4 preseason, the 16 regular season, it's tough when the curtain comes down on you.
It really is. Very final.
2nd and 5 for Danny White. 12-17 remaining in the game. Pass is good for a first down to Hill. He knew where he had to go past midfield. Tackled by Cromwell. But the Rams will give them a lot of those passes now, won't they?
Yeah, they've been giving them a lot of those kind of passes all afternoon. That's the thing about the way they play. They're very stingy defensively, and they get a good rush with a 3-man front. And as we talk about consistently, the linebackers really do a terrific job of getting back there to help on the pass.
You know, these linebackers you just mentioned, they make 51% of the tackles on defense. You know, and 30 linebackers make more tackles, but that's a higher percentage than I've seen in all the games I've done this year.
Another fumble. And a scramble for it. And they're going to give it to the Rams. Doug Reed wanted the ball, and he got it. Gary Jeter stripped it away from Danny White. And another turnover for the Cowboys, their 5th of the day. 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions.
Take a look at Danny White, the quarterback now. He's coming back. He's got action working to his left. You can see Titans are right there. Here comes Jeter, flushes him up inside, hooks him right there, and Danny had the ball out in front of himself with the right hand, and it just dropped out of his right hand. And did Doug Reed go after that ball like a gopher, or did he?
Now you look
dug
at
it out of there.
Yeah.
5 turnovers.
Can't win turning the ball over.
Ball is at the Cowboy 46. Here goes Dickerson again, I guess. He already has a playoff game record. Add a few to it. Here's the gentleman who recovered the fumble, and that is Doug Reed. San Diego State had 7.5 sacks this year, doing a great job at the left defensive end.
Hank, he's about as consistent a defensive end in performance this year as I have seen in terms of intensity on every snap. He really gives what he has to give.
The veteran Hegman is slow in getting up for the Cowboys now.
I'll tell you another guy that's done a great job here this afternoon is the entire offensive line of the Rams, but Kid Hill, specifically on White, has really done an excellent job.
He's got those long arms, Hank. He can reach out there and stop him.
Dickerson just got 5. Hegman is injured. 11:21 left.
When you play on the same team,
And you're both named Youngblood.
life can be confusing.
And around the time I played 2 games with a broken leg.
No, Jimmy, that was me.
What? There's no confusing our favorite beer, light beer from Miller.
Yeah, light tastes great.
But Jack, you drink it because it's less filling.
No, Jim, that's you.
It is?
Paging Mr. Youngblood.
Well, I got to go.
Not you, Jack. The other one.
Hey, that's me.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer.
And less.
You finally get the answer, and now you can't wait to tell someone. Here at Hewlett-Packard, we never stop thinking about how our business computing equipment can be used to solve your company's problems. It's the Hewlett-Packard way of doing things. We're always asking, what if?
I've got it. They need easy access to their database, right? What if we used the personal productivity?
Plymouth shows you why the pride is back. Plymouth Reliant K, 6-passenger room, Plymouth 550 protection plan. Front-wheel drive Reliant K.
The pride is back. Born in America. Again.
Now get 8.6 financing or $500 cash back on select Plymouth models. The world's top players are expected to be among those shooting for John McEnroe's title at the AT&T Tennis Challenge next Saturday on CBS Sports.
They work on Mike Hegman along the sideline. Brian Salonen is in there in his spot. So Salonen plays the strong side linebacker. Dickerson just got 5, and it's 2nd and 5. This is the best rushing day ever in the pros for Dickerson. 232 yards. And look what Dallas has given up rushing. 239. More than double their season's average per game. Here he goes again. Now you can take 1 off of that total. Lockhart made the tackle. That handsome gentleman is a future football Hall of Famer, Jack Youngblood. He'll be in Canton, Ohio, Hank.
He surely will be. He's been a very special player all through the years, and still very much a part of the Los Angeles Rams. A great deal of pride in what he's done.
Does some work now for ESPN. He'd like to be up here in the broadcast booth.
He wants our job, Hank. He's auditioned with CBS and NBC. You know, he wants your job and my job today. And I think he'll be a good one. I really do. He's a worker. He always has been. I was here when we drafted him a long time ago.
Well, they took Dickerson out because they lost a yard. Harry Redden is into the game. He fumbles. He's no slouch. The ball came loose. Belongs to the Cowboys. Well, Barry Redden carried it, fumbled it, and it was recovered by Dennis Thurman. The big hit by Randy White that stripped the ball away from Barry Redden. 2nd Ram turnover.
It's a trap play. Watch it. They're coming across. Slater is trapping White. He comes through there with the ball in the left hand. Pressure from Jeffcoat from the outside end. The ball falls loose. There it is. And recovered by the Dallas Cowboys. Specifically, Dennis Thurman, number 32.
When Randy White grabs your arm and tugs on it, he can pull the arm away from the body, and that ball will drop out.
So wonder he doesn't pull it off altogether.
That's right.
From the Dallas 32. With a score 20-0 in favor of the Rams. They're set. And very good running speed by Cromwell to take advantage of the angle he had. 9:58 left in the game.
They just haven't allowed Dorsett to get going upfield. You know? They've been stringing things out. Now watch Tony on the right side of your screen slide across on this draw action. See, and he can't get turned up. They keep forcing him inside out. Here comes Nolan Cromwell to put him out of bounds. They don't let him get going upfield.
He's rushed 17 times, Hank.
For 58 yards, and we're talking to him yesterday, the way he talked, the way he felt.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't braggadocious, but you had the feeling he was going to have a good day here this afternoon.
Second down and 9. Motion by Newsom. And they get him again. The 5th sack. Mike Wiltshire was the first in there, number 54. He had 12 and a half sacks during the year. That's the 5th time that they have sacked Danny White today. They're doing it with a makeshift offensive line because they lost Chris Schultzer early in the game.
I don't think that would have made much difference, though, Jack. I really think the way that defensive line of the Rams is coming off the ball and the way that Wilshire is coming off in there, why, they're putting an awful lot of pressure and they're making things happen up front.
3rd and 16.
It's got to be a great feeling, Hank, to be the head coach of the Rams now, sitting on the sideline with the defense playing like they're playing with this kind of lead in your first division championship game.
Not in a 4-man line defensively, which they haven't used very much this afternoon.
Screen pass, nicely timed. There goes Dorsett. And he is short of a first down on a 3rd down screen. Johnny Johnson stopped the play along with Sean Miller. By the way, you might see that 40 on the top of the uniform of the Los Angeles Rams. And this is the 40th year that they have been here after moving out from Cleveland. First to Los Angeles and then to Anaheim. This is 4th down, and the Cowboys are going for it from scrimmage, trailing 20-0 from their own 44. On 4th down, they've been 5 out of 9, and it's 4th and 3. They need a 3-yard pickup. Watch for Cosby. Now it's a little forward pitch to shovel pass to Dorsett for a big play.
We thought we'd see that sometime during the game. We finally saw it.
Yeah, there was the little shovel pass.
And that's, of course, that's an awful good play again. It's a very good play when the defensive ends are really expecting passing coming up the field like they are. Watch on the right side here. Watch Gary Jeter coming up the field, playing the pitch, throws it inside. And there you see, good blocking downfield. Dorsett runs through one tackler and goes all the way down the field and picks up a first down on the play.
The other point, Hank, if that had been fumbled, that's an incomplete pass.
First down throw, nothing. Incomplete. Trying to get to it was Johnny Johnson.
Tony Hill looks like he's not 100% to me running those post patterns. Hank, he didn't look like he was really flying, and he has good speed. That hamstring may still be bothering him.
Yeah, it may be, but I think that here again, with the way they're playing defensively, there's no way in the world, unless one of those defensive backs have a heart attack, that receiver's going to get into that zone defense deep.
Yeah.
They're playing too deep.
He'll hit that post pattern inside the corner, about the only way you could do it.
That's the only way you can do it. You can't go up on top with it.
Hill has caught 5 for 34 yards. Whenever any athlete has that hamstring pull, it's really tough to get it out of their mind.
Really turn it loose.
Convince themselves that they're over the injury altogether. Tried to get it to Hill, and Johnson walked in front of it and could have picked it off, but didn't.
There again, you see 3 defensive backs on 1 receiver.
Johnny Johnson playing free safety, just watched his quarterback turned his head to the right, and then he broke, and then Danny threw the ball, and Johnny Johnson was on his way.
Yeah, one thing that's very obvious, too, when the ball's up in the air, the safety man can cover about 20 yards.
You bet.
To get to the ball, and that's
more.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah. Depending on who he is, but at least 20.
Yeah.
White is 20 out of 36 with 2 picked off. But they've held Dorsett under 100 yards rushing, and that always seems to indicate whether Dallas is going to win or lose.
Well, it's been close, right? As we said at the start of the ball game. 41-3 with him over 100. So.
Flag is thrown. Pass is incomplete. Probably holding against Dallas because the umpire threw the flag. Holding Cowboys. When it rains, it pours.
Talking to Gary Jeter before the game, he talked about rushing the passer and having a good day and that kind of thing. He said, one of the other things I've done, I've lost about 5 pounds.
75, offense, still third down.
Because I want to be quicker and faster going into the playoffs, and evidently it's been very effective because he's done a terrific job here this afternoon.
The Rams have really played well, but over the years, this isn't the Dallas team that I have seen in the past. Really, Hank, they just haven't seemed to have the zip and the tenaciousness that they normally play with.
Well, they didn't. No, that's true, but I think Tom Landry said it yesterday. We asked about how he compared this team with the other ones. He says there's not much of a comparison. The other teams were much, much better. Yeah. Talking about his old Dallas Cowboys
79,
that's
80
right.
teams. Yeah.
This one doesn't compare with those, and it's very obvious the kind of a season they've had.
That's the 5th penalty against the Cowboys. Here's the middle screen again. It worked before. It works again, but not enough for a first down. It's 4th down. Nolan Cromwell tackled along with Johnny Johnson. They just can't get the ball to the wide receivers. Renfro is out. That makes a big difference.
Well, the other thing Tom said, when talking to him yesterday, he said really the big difference in the other teams is the fact that if they lost somebody, it didn't make much difference who they brought in. They could still maintain a high level of efficiency. They don't have that now.
You don't have to tell me. All they did was beat us.
You know a lot about that. Of course, you beat him some too. You beat him some too, Dick.
Not often enough.
Here's another 4th down play. 4th and 7. This crowd is into it now. 6:50 left in the game. Jerry Gray walked right into that one. That was crazy, wasn't it? That's a 6th turnover for Dallas.
Tried to get it in behind Jerry Gray, and rolling like that, he just threw the ball a little too low. You're going to see Danny get pressure coming from behind him from his blind side on the left. Jeter coming up the outside, good movement, and he flushes. He has time out here. He's looking for receiver, no one to work open, everyone playing the zone. He tried to get it over Gray's head to the receiver behind him and could not do it. Therefore, the interception.
That's the first ever for Jerry Gray, the rookie out of Texas.
He's their number 1 pick.
And the Rams have the ball at their 35. 6 Dallas turnovers, 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles, and the Rams only 2. Redden and Dickerson are in there. Dickerson adds to his record-breaking total, and Hegman is back in there. Happy to see that. He made the tackle.
With the tempo of the game changed and being dominated by the Rams right now, it's a good time to get Dickerson an NFL playoff rushing record.
Here's what the 2 stars have done today. Dorsett, 58 yards. Eric Dickerson, 237 yards. A 40-yard touchdown run, a 55-yard touchdown run for Dickerson. 2nd and 4. First down. How many yards is he going to end up with?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what I'd do, Hank, if I were coaching. I'd get him out of there, let him sit on the bench and be healthy for next week.
I talked earlier about Slater blocking for Walter Payton at Jackson State in college and also now for Eric Dickerson. I said, what about the 2 backs? Everybody knows how great they are. What is the difference between the 2 of them? He said, just one. Anytime Eric Dickerson gets a step, he's gone. That's the difference.
Dickerson just got a rousing ovation from the 66,000 351 who are here. He's up to 244 yards. Mike Gooman is in the backfield, and Redden runs across midfield. Eric Dickerson gets a well-deserved breather.
That's a new NFL playoff rushing record for a running back. The old record was held by Jim Brown at 232 yards. They're calling him Jack Benny now. They call Eric Dickerson Jack Benny because of a party situation. He rented a limo, and the limo showed up. It was about 15 years old and wouldn't run, so the guy said he was too cheap to rent a first-class one.
They kid him about having fish hooks in his pocket.
Yeah.
2nd and 6. Gooman will be the lead back. Redden fumbled once earlier. He's usually very sure-handed and a good runner to the 45. 3rd and 2 coming up. With 4:25 left in the game. Lockhart made the tackle. There's John Robinson. Now his team apparently will take on the winner of the Giant-Bear game, which will take place tomorrow. The game that you'll see here on CBS. He's been in the playoffs every year as the head coach of the Rams. The game can't end soon enough for these people. Down, short yards for the Rams. No first down on that trip. Jim Jeffcoat tackling Redden. Season's over, folks, for these Cowboys.
They're thinking all this time, all that effort, all the work that we put in to be a champion and go on into that and it's gone. It's behind us. Boy, that is really a depressing feeling.
You know, you got to have a lot of respect for this man, Johnny Robinson. You know, he's got a lot of heat, a lot of criticism about the conservative offense and that, but he's been strong enough to exercise a philosophy. He believes very strongly in this, and as Al Davis has said many times, just win, baby. That's what he does. He just wins, and you have to give him a lot of credit for not deviating from what he believes in. He just comes off the bus, plays the kind of football he thinks he has to play to win, and that's what they do. They win.
6 punts for Hatcher now after he touches this one off. And he is kicking to Gordon Banks. His new and a penalty is taken.
Still 4th down.
Play a game. These 2 new kick return men have hurt the Cowboys today. Robert Levette was returning the kickoffs very well, but he came up with a knee injury. Banks had a fumble earlier on a punt return.
You know, Dick, it's amazing how good you can feel about being in the playoffs, and then how badly you can feel when it's over. Oh, boy, is that an agonizing feeling?
There are very few people in occupations that can identify with the pain of losing.
You talk about a stock market attitude up and down, go up from one day to the next. Yeah. This is it.
Almost blocked. Fair catch called for by Banks at about the 23-yard line. 2:35 left. Here comes Dorsett back in to see what he can do.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be all you can be. Sponsored by the U.S. Army. Eric Dickerson was not in their early season lineup, but the Rams did have Charles White, number 33. After being cut by Cleveland, White capably filled Dickerson's shoes. And through extra effort, the former Heisman Trophy winner casts aside doubts about his ability to play in the NFL. By working to overcome the adversity of his career, Charles White helped lead the Rams to a division title, proving that he is the best he can be.
I never dreamed I'd join the Army, but they gave me the opportunity of a lifetime.
121, 7 miles northwest, low fuel, heavy weather.
Army 121. Turn right, heading 150.
Army 121, roger, 150.
Every time I help one of our choppers land, it puts me on cloud 9.
Runway in sight. Thanks for your help.
Roger.
Find your future in the Army.
Mastinero for these fellas. The offensive line of the Rams, they get $10,000 for playing today and at least $18,000 for playing next week, either here at home against the Giants or at Chicago against the Bears.
You can bet what they're hoping for tomorrow. You know, that the trip from the West Coast to East Coast in the cold weather is really tough on a West Coast team.
And their defense on the field has blanked the Dallas Cowboys 20-0 with 2:35 left in the game.
The defensive staff has to be fired up, Hank. You know, Fritz Shermer, the coordinator, Steve Schaefer, the secondary coach, Marv Goo, the defensive line, and Fred Whittingham, outside linebackers, and Larry Brooks, the assistant defensive line. Those guys are going to party tonight.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to Marv Goo right before the game on the field, and I said, how do you feel? He said, we're going to out-tough them.
Yeah.
Real out-tough them.
His Rams played this year without George Andrews, without Eric Harris. Building nicely for those good players. Los Angeles will give them all they want on that one. James Jones caught it. Cowboys have never been shut out in a playoff game, but they have 221 to get rid of that statistic. Collins made the tackle with Owens. And a hurry-up offense for Dallas. Second down, outside, incomplete. Poe was the intended receiver, and Cromwell was over there with him.
You know, I think, Jack, and there's something about the mentality of playing a team that you know is going to play a soft defense the whole game. You know, Dick?
Yeah.
You know, you feel going into the game, we got to travel slow all afternoon, and it's a kind of a tough feeling to think that you can't get up on top and come up with big plays, and I think it hurts the attitude and the way you play. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Something hurt them today. Something hurt their offense. They just weren't efficient or consistent.
Third down and 4. As you saw a while ago, the celebration has already begun along the Rams sideline. This pass is incomplete and almost picked off by Cromwell.
Oh, you know,
2:05 left.
In most cases, you know, you're playing a team, you say, well, somewhere along the line, we're going to get that one-on-one and a chance to go up on top. When you play the Rams, you very rarely get a chance to do that. It's amazing.
Very seldom.
Well, it's fourth down, and the Cowboys are going to punt the ball away with Mike Saxon.
White even mentioned yesterday, said most times, you know, you get inside the 20, 25-yard line, and you can kind of anticipate man for man, but you can't against this team. They just stay in the same defenses.
There is Ellert, number 2 in punt returns, serving Pryor this year in the National Football League. Pryor will play tomorrow. Oh, good kick by Saxon. From the 24. And the flag goes down, an illegal block against the Rams with 1:56 remaining, and Jesse Penn made the tackle downfield. There's Dick Jorgensen, the referee. Hank and I did a game in Detroit, and he tried to break up a fight, and one of those players inadvertently hit him on the chin with his elbow and knocked him out like Lottie's eye.
Yeah, he was shaking his rosin out of his hair, wasn't he?
Illegal block, number 22, receiving team on the run back. First off.
Okay, they'll mark off some yards against the Rams. Then they'll take the timeout for the 2-minute warning.
In the top of your screen, you're going to see Vince Newsom, number 22, as he curls to the outside. He's working right there on James Jones, number 23. Jones goes past him. He hits in the back right there.
You can't do that?
Can't do that.
1:56 left in the game, and the Rams have a 20-0 lead.
Chrysler technology is making Made in America mean something again. With the LeBaron series, turbo power, and a graceful new design, these cars caught the competition sleeping. And Chrysler technology gives turbo New Yorker power and more standard equipment than Buick Electra. Commitments by Chrysler, made good by Chrysler, backed by Chrysler. Because the competition is good, Chrysler has to be better.
Well, I finally did it. I've given up this surfing life and gone out and gotten a real job. You can do it, Corky. Whoa. And to celebrate, my pals here sending me off with a little party and some light beer from Miller. Light's taste is way cool, and it's less filling. And I can't afford to get filled up because I've got to go to work tomorrow.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
See you later, Corky.
Yeah, it's a tough job. Someone's got to do it.
Today, millions of Americans are better off than ever before. Better off with expertise on how to manage cash, finance mortgages, and accumulate assets. Better off with the finest insurance protection for their lives, property, and businesses. They're better off under the umbrella of one of America's largest diversified financial enterprises, the Travelers. Have you looked under the Travelers umbrella lately?
When the
New York Giants visit Chicago, they'd better be prepared for war with the Bears. The NFC playoffs continue tomorrow on CBS Sports.
Very surprisingly, Eric Dickerson is back in the lineup for the Rams. He rushed for 244 yards. He gets about one more. Tony Dorsett on the other side of the field rushed for 58 yards and 17 carries. He caught 8 passes. Randy White, Eugene Lockhart made that tackle.
You know, we talked going into the game about the work habits of the two teams. We'll be back in just a minute and tell you about this, Dick.
Timeout, Dallas.
Chrysler LeBaron GTS challenges BMW 528e and Mercedes 190e to a test of performance. Overall, America's GTS dominates the legendary Germans and is under $12,000. LeBaron GTS. We built an American hero.
Now, Chrysler offers you 8.6 financing or up to $1,000 cash back.
1:44 left, 20-0 in favor of the Rams. Executive producer, CBS Sports, Terry O'Neill. Senior producer, Chuck Milton. Today's telecast produced by Robert Stenner and Robert Fishman, our director. Associate producers, Michael Burks and Mark Wolf. And other people involved on our telecast here from Anaheim were 66,351. Watch the Rams eliminate the Cowboys. We're down to 6 teams now remaining in the NFL playoff. Earlier today, Miami beat Cleveland 24-21. 2nd and 9, Rams. Cowboys fighting to the end, have 1 timeout remaining. And other folks involved in our telecast here today. The lights are on here at Anaheim Stadium. Another Dallas timeout. They have no more remaining. Dexter Clinkscale made that last tackle, so they're going down fighting, Hank. It's a waste of time, I think, but you have to admire their attitude nonetheless.
Certainly. Listen, they're a great organization, and they're going to fight you right down to the last end.
Don't go away, because we're going to have some guests, and we hope that we're able to talk to Eric Dickerson, Johnny Robinson. Brent Musburger is on the scene with his troops, and there's their set down on the field for the NFL today. Here comes Dickerson out. .248 yards. A new NFL playoff record. 2 long touchdown runs. 40 yards, 55 yards, 34 carries. New contract in his hip pocket, Henry.
That's why he's all smiles.
He just signed a couple of weeks ago, and they finally got together. He'll be on display for a long time.
You see that funny little car he was driving the other day?
Yeah.
Is that a beautiful automobile or what? It's going to be back in style, I think, in some time. Yeah, I think so.
The ball's at the 19, and it's 3rd down and 6. Dallas has no more timeouts remaining. Tell the folks here that Dickerson has broken the NFL playoff record. And this running play is stopped at the 20. The clock will run. Lockhart made the tackle. Barry Redden.
You know, here's another shot at Johnny Robinson. And we talked about both coaches and their approach going into the game with that extra week of work. Basically, I think Johnny Robinson feels and felt that a day of rest is a lot more important than a day of work. And I really kind of think, looking at the game and looking at the 2 teams, I really had the feeling from the very beginning that the Rams were a lot more fresh and a lot more emotionally involved in the game than the Dallas Cowboys. Did you feel that way at all, Dick?
Well, we were, able to talk to all the Ram players, and that gives you a better impression of the overall squad, but you had to go with that thought.
They're coming after Hatcher, but he gets it away.
Holy mackerel, that a good one.
And Banks is all the way back to the 25 and dropped. Right there. Hatcher, the rookie out of Clemson. Pro Bowler. Newsom made the tackle. By by the way, they have 4 members of the Cowboys for whom the season is not over in the Pro Bowl. It'll be Doug Crosby, Randy White, 9 in a row for him, Everson Walls, and Tony Hill. They're the folks getting ready for our post-game show on the NFL today. Joe Montana, Tom Brookshire, Jimmy the Greek, and Brent Musburger. So don't go away. We'll have some player interviews for you. We only have 40 seconds left in the game. There's a 55-yard punt by Mrs. Hatcher's little boy.
Boy, did he hit that thing.
There's John Duck. No Pro Bowl for him. He's had a great year. His season is over.
You know, the other thing about Johnny Robinson, he said, you know, we play so well defensively with our specialty teams. Whatever we get offensively, it'd be a big bonus. And that's exactly the way they played this game this afternoon.
Great catch by Poe, the rookie out of Arizona State. Gary Green cut his legs off at the 45. Hurry-up offense. And the Cowboys will join the Cleveland Browns in being eliminated today. Trying to get out of bounds with it. No, he did not get out of bounds, so the clock continues to run. Tony Hill caught it. Jerry Gray tackled it. Now we're down. It's all over, folks. No mas for the Cowboys. Nothing. Let's go down to Herb Cross and Eric Dickerson.
Eric, congratulations on an unbelievable day. You set a playoff record. You carried the ball 34 times for 248 yards. You scored 2 touchdowns and averaged 7.2 yards per carry unofficially. You have to be happy with that, obviously.
I'm very happy. That's not a shabby day, is it?
That's a great day. You know, but earlier in the week, you told me that the Rams just don't get no respect. You guys are the Rodney Dangerfield of professional football. Do you feel you got your respect today?
I feel like we got some respect today. I told you that we were going to go with the strength of Dallas' defense, and that's running the ball at them. Everyone said that we couldn't run the ball at them. We felt like we could.
Well, when you went into the game, did you anticipate at all that there might be any kind of a shutout on the other side of the ball? Your defense has been playing well all year long. You did it again with special teams, defense, and today a great running game for Eric Dickerson. Did you anticipate that during the week coming in?
Well, I didn't think about a shutout, but with 2 weeks off, you get a lot of rest. And our defense played very well, and our offense, we put a lot of different things in. And we looked, I think, pretty impressive today.
You look very impressive. Congratulations, big guy.
Thanks,
Brent.
All right, Irv, and congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams. And still to come, we'll hear from Jimmy the Greek. He thought the Rams would beat the Cowboys. Joe Montana and Tommy Brookshire here. We'll continue with our post-game show on CBS in just a moment.
Since I hung up my size 19 sneakers, Dave and I get together for a few light beers from Miller.
And argue about who was the greatest player.
You were the greatest.
No, Bob, you were.
At least we agree Light's taste is the greatest.
Yep, Light's also less filling. And you can't afford to get filled up when you're the great Bob Lanier.
Come on, Dave. You won the MVP and the championship. Those were the 2 biggest feats in basketball.
No, Bob. Those were the 2 biggest feats in basketball.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
High atop Hawaii's Mauna Kea lies one of the world's premier spots for astronomical observation. And in Scotland, at the Royal Observatory, lies one of the world's premier centers for astronomical study. The problem is, they're 7,000 miles apart. The solution? A computer link, enabling the scientists in Scotland to control the telescope in Hawaii and retrieve the data in seconds.
Gee.
No, GTE.
United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. Nobody knows Hawaii like United. Let the friendly skies bring Hawaii alive.
The Dallas Cowboys are shut out by the Los Angeles Rams, 20-0. And my board of experts here, they were perfect. Tom Brookshire, you thought Dickerson was going to have a big afternoon.
Johnny Robinson said he thought that he had to have between 30 and 35 carries. He had 200 and some odd yards, but the defense has helped the Rams all year, and they were tough before they got points today.
Joe, what were your thoughts about the game?
Well, I think the biggest thing in any game is the turnovers. And you look at it, and Dallas was just giving the ball up, and the special teams especially, and that's usually the key when it comes down to the playoffs.
You know, gentlemen, I really thought it was a pretty embarrassing performance by the Cowboys to be shut out like that in the playoffs. Jimmy, I want to direct this about next year. I have to believe there's going to be some major changes over there.
No question about it. They're going to have to come in, the Cowboys, with some wide receivers and another running back and maybe even another quarterback. The special teams of the Rams today were absolutely superb, Brent. Forget the Dickerson, what he did. We said he'd do 140, and he did 240. But you've got to give Coach Robinson all the credit in the world. They just stomped them.
Yeah.
The only thing, Brent, I think that Landry did the best coaching job maybe he's ever done.
You really think so, Tom?
I think they're short on talent, and I think he brought them further than a lot of people would.
Joe, what are some of your thoughts about the Cowboys? They were America's team for so long.
Yeah, you know, but when I got here, we talked about, I had been thinking about the Cowboys the whole week before, but when I got here, just the intensity from the Rams as they took the field compared to the Cowboys, it just didn't seem to be there from the start for them.
All right, well, of course, tomorrow the scene shifts to Chicago, where it will be the Bears and the New York Giants. We'll start our coverage on CBS at 12 noon. And obviously, we hope to see you ready for that game. Again, the weather forecast, not too bad, but not good either. Snow, and it started to snow a little bit earlier this afternoon. The Bears will be favored, as they are, obviously, for a home game. The Giants are coming off that tremendous victory over the San Francisco 49ers. And we will continue on CBS in just a moment. So it was Eric Dickerson getting the job done. 248 yards on the afternoon. An NFL playoff game record. Dickerson scores twice. The Rams come away with a victory. Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys have been knocked out of the playoffs. The final score, the Rams 20 and the Dallas Cowboys nothing. Tomorrow, it'll be high noon on CBS. The New York Giants, the Chicago Bears. We'll be live from Soldier Field in Chicago. So long, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.